Admania Talks here, back on the grind. I don't know if that's a great way to start off the video, but PBS Kids shows, yes. I'm on the grind recording videos, so subscribe, please. I'm trying to get to 10 subscribers, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have a goal, but uh, yeah, PBS Kids shows. I was watching YouTube, right? And I get stuff recommended to me all the time, but uh, I got stuff like from Word Girl, which was a show that like I would watch on and off, but I wasn't like, oh, it's like I don't know. I wasn't like I hated it, but I was like, it's fine. I would watch it, and it was pretty enjoyable for what it was. And if you don't know what Word Girl is, it's a superhero, and she defines words. Shocking, I know. What a concept, but she'll just go around like doing her stuff, and then like something will happen plot wise, and the villains of the show are like really, really like weird but kind of funny. And I was like watching clips of it. I'm like, this show is like weirdly like deep. I'm like, for like a PBS Kids show, I'm like, this show is like so deep and it's funny. I'm like watching the clips. I'm like dying laughing. Like there'd be like fourth wall breaks and stuff that I wouldn't even expect. I'm just like, I don't know. This show is like way better than I ever thought it was. And I was wondering if you guys ever had an experience like that. But I have a bunch of shows that have like came across my mind that I'm like, these shows are like really good, or I've had a really good time like watching them, and I maybe will watch them for a series. If you guys like these videos and subscribe, I could review over all of like the shows I mentioned in this video. But that brought me back to Clifford the Big Red Dog, and I'll probably just be randomly talking about these shows. But was it a PBS Kids show? I don't know. This is a childhood show, and I absolutely love Clifford the Big Red Dog. I thought it was like the greatest thing, and I still have a stuffed animal of him chilling in my room because that's like my one childhood toy that I like kept. And I don't know. I'm sure you guys have like a childhood toy or something or a stuffed animal that you keep because it just reminds you, and it's just been through like life. But yeah, that's mine, and it's I love the show and I watch it, and or like I watched clips of it and I'm like, I still love it. It's so good. Now I don't know about like when they were at the apartment. I didn't hate it, but like when he was like a puppy, it was still funny, but it didn't hit the same as Clifford the Big Red Dog. And I know that's like kind of like a big bar for me to say to like beat that show, but I don't know, compared to that, it was a little underwhelming. But even like as a kid, I recognized that, but I didn't hate it. It was Clifford, so like I don't know. Maybe I'll watch those and review them. But the next show I wanted to talk about is Cyber Chase. I have wanted to rewatch it because the show had just had so much stuff going on, and it was a cool concept. They're like in a computer trying to like beat this face guy like he's like Andros. I don't really know what would be going on in that show, but it was just I don't know. I remember it being funny and having good memories of it. But I don't know. Sometimes you just watch the show, you're just like, what is going on, honestly? But I think that's why that show I loved it so much because you just never knew what was going to happen, and I might rewatch it again, but I remember enjoying it. Another show is Wildcrats. I definitely remember a lot more of this show because I think I watched it like early teenage years, maybe. I think a lot recent than like the other shows that I was talking about. Uh, which recent isn't like in comparison to when I watched the other two, not like today, but Wildcats was like such a good show because you'd actually learn a lot about like the animals. So they just like go off like changing into animals and stuff and like defeating villains and like just exploring like Australia, for example. And it's just a really entertaining show. I'm like, oh, I like animals and I like Chris Pratt and uh, I can't remember the other one. I can't. but I'll probably put it up here. But uh, the characters of the show, I just love them. They always have like a recurring character that they meet. But yeah, it was just an interesting show. Like it's hard to explain like why that show is so interesting. Like after, but it's like really memorable. Like if I think of like a PBS Kids show, that show is what I think about. And I was even more surprised when I found out that there was like a live version that wasn't animated. That's what it was like based off of. I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, these people are real? Like, they exist? What? Like, that was just like blew my mind. Like, the show was great. I don't know, I just wanted to talk about the shows. You're probably not gonna get like a lot of in depth, but it'll probably be like blasts of the past if I like hear these shows. Like Maya Miguel, I don't remember much from it, but I remember it's a show of two people that consist of the Maya variety and the Miguel variety. But I remember liking that show a lot. Uh, I hope that one isn't a little outdated going back to it, because I might just do a series watching all the shows I mentioned and like reviewing them. But I feel like if I was to go back, that might be the one that ages the worst. I hope not, because I remember enjoying it. But I feel like it could be like Word Girl and just have like insanely deep writing that I just didn't realize. So, I don't know. But that show was pretty good. I was like so distraught when they took it off the air, or they like stopped, uh, or like the season ended and they stopped like airing it or something. I was so sad. Which, that show must have done something right, I hope. But yeah, there were some other shows like Martha Speaks. I would watch Martha Speaks. I just loved watching shows with dogs. I don't know why, but they were always so good. Like Martha Speaks, she's just like a dog that ate like alphabet soup and just starts talking English. Just got like the Meowth treatment from Pokemon Team Rocket, but just a dog that can talk, and I'm like, that's a pretty funny concept in itself. So funny that actually no, I don't think the dog could talk in Dog with a blog, honestly. But I haven't seen that. But uh, yeah, I the show was just funny. Martha Speaks, I think, from what I remember, was pretty well written and kind of funny. Like it was like I don't know, the jokes just had like a dad pun vibe, but like better than that. But the jokes just hit. And I think if I had the most like expectations and went back to watching a show, I think I would enjoy that show the most now, honestly, because there were some funny moments in that show, and I have a lot of good things I remember from that show. Uh, I'm trying to think what other shows. Uh, I don't know why I'd watch Cat in the Hat. That show, that show was like a fever dream, honestly, but it wasn't bad. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest out of them, but there were some funny moments in that show. What other shows can I think about? I don't know. Did I say Fetch with Ruff Ruffman? I don't think I did, but that show was like interesting. It was another dog show. Yeah, I did not mention it. I just loved watching shows with dogs in it as a kid, and I don't know. But the shows were always like so interesting. They were always like either so funny or had like an interesting concept that just like caught my attention as a kid. And this show was like, I don't know. It felt like The Amazing Race, but not really. They're not like really racing to do anything. I don't remember too much of the show. I remember like a bunch of kids just going out doing like side quests or something, and they're like competing, right? And had like a game show vibe. Because when I was young, I don't know why, I really liked watching like game shows. Because that was like the one thing that would be on TV. Like I would watch Price is Right, Deal or No Deal, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, those shows. Even like the old channels, they'd have like I don't know the name of like the wheel one where they're just like, oh, no whammies, no whammies, but I'd watch that. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I would also watch. There's no reason when Steve Harvey had a talk show, I would I would just eat that up. I would just watch the Steve Harvey talk show and Ellen DeGeneres before she got canceled. But I don't know. I TV was a very interesting thing, and I don't know why. It was always because it was always on after, and I'm just like, well, I might as well watch it because there's always some shenanigans going on in the Ellen DeGeneres show, which is so funny. I don't know why of all the shows, that's the show I watched like immediately after, and then whatever cartoon that was on after. But it's just so funny. It's like I'm like 8 watching the Ellen DeGeneres show. I'm just like, what is happening? And then she got canceled. Yeah. I think it's a great end to the video. Yeah, but now you know too much information. I'd watch that. But yeah, the PBS Kids shows are good. And if I go through the catalog, I will maybe review them if this episode gets like 10 likes, maybe. Maybe I get to 50 subs. Uh, yeah. Thank you for watching. If you have any good shows that I forgot, or maybe shows that you remember with like good open heart or like being good and then were bad, or maybe the opposite happened, let me know. Sid the Science Kid. I don't know. That's just the only thing I have to mention. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Uh, yeah, have a good day.